Look alive, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for the Monday night recap. We do these every Monday nights. They're trying to kill us, though. I am AK with the Millie Goats. We just put out another podcast, full recap of the Sunday afternoon schedule for football and college football. Full recap episode. I see a lot of people. I don't know why this screen is so small on my screen. I don't like this at all. I don't like this at all. But why? Why? Why is it this small? There we go. That's better. Okay. Look, we're here to talk football. We had Buccaneers, we had Lions. Okay. We had those done. These Monday night late games are trying to kill me. They started the one at 7 and they start the one at 10. We can't be having that. But first, for those of you who don't know, I was born in North Carolina. So when I was a kid, all my professional teams, my favorite teams, okay, they were not North Carolina teams because I'm old enough to be born before the Panthers came along, before the Hurricanes. We don't have a baseball team. The Hornets left, then became the Bobcats, all that stuff. I'm a Seattle Mariners fan, and I hate sports. We'll get to football here in a minute, but I hate sports because the Seattle Mariners had a chance to get to the World Series after they went up 2-0 in the series, and of course, they're up 3-1, and in the bottom of the 7th, let me vent here, people. We'll get to football in a second. But I am absolutely disgusted by the Seattle Mariners pitching to George Springer, the guy who's been terrorizing the Seattle Mariners franchise in the AFC West, in the AL West for the last decade, and they decide to throw to him with an available base, and he hits a 3-run moonshot in the bottom of the 7th, and the game is over, and thus another hilarious ending to my favorite team's seasons. We've had the 49ers lose back-to-back Super Bowl, actually 3 Super Bowls in a row in horrendous fashion. The New York Rangers have lost a Stanley Cup and multiple Eastern Conference finals. App State has completely crumbled in the biggest games. And now the Seattle Mariners had a chance to get to the World Series and done. So I'm done venting about that. Sports are dumb. Why do we watch sports? You know, good for Toronto. Glad they got to have a lot of fun. 3-run jack in the bottom of the 7th, and then their crowd's going nuts, and the Mariners are dejected, and you can tell they're not interested. I hate sports. I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. How could this happen again? How could this happen again? When is one of my teams going to win something? When are they going to win something? Anyways, that's not why we're here. We know that's not why we're here. We're here to talk Monday Night Football, and let's go ahead and get to the point here. We don't need this. I don't want that at all. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Look, here's how we do things. If you're new to the show, there's people piling in here. If you're listening to the podcast, we appreciate it. Like, subscribe, write a review. Come on, we see the numbers going up. We appreciate everybody tuning in. It's great. We got our notebook here. I write notes when I'm watching games. I did not write many notes for the Seahawks and the Texans game yet because, again, I watched the first game, and then in the second game, I've been kind of watching the Mariners completely collapse. So I caught most of the first half. I got 3 TVs set up in the living room. And so we had the first half and the second half of the Seahawks game just started. So let's talk about this Bucs game. This was ugly. The Bucs Lions. Lions win 24-9. Both of them are 5-2 now. Detroit's 3-0 at home. Bucs are 3-1 on the road. The Buccaneers, they lost Mike Evans. He broke his collarbone on a very weird kind of slammed the turf, thought he got knocked out, was, I don't know, weird posturing, all that stuff. But the Buccaneers in the first half got absolutely manhandled, right? Gibbs had 218 yards of offense, 2 touchdowns. And after the Lions got embarrassed by the Chiefs, they bounced back, beat the Bucs, and now we've got a mess at the top of the NFC. The 49ers, shout out us, 5-2, Bucs 5-2, Lions 5-2, Eagles 5-2, Rams 5-2, Seahawks potentially going to be 5-2 if they can hold off the Texans here. And CJ Stroud just threw a pick to start the half. Just come on. What happened to him? So, but let's go down like we normally do. The leading receiver for the Bucs was Cade Otton. He had 7 receptions. Rashad White was leading rusher. Baker Mayfield, 228, 28 of 50, 1 touchdown, 1 INT. I think we got the notes here, but the Lions were favored by 6.5. That covered. The under hit at 54.5. First quarter. First of all, I don't know how we feel about the black uniforms and the Lions. Kind of a toss-up. I do know that the Bucs, their logos on their helmets are absolutely enormous. They have to be some of the biggest in the league, if not the biggest. They cover the most surface area for sure. But that's what we get. And Dan Campbell, he's chewing gum on the sidelines. His dip teeth. I think he finally, somebody probably called him, was like, "Hey man, your teeth look like a picket fence. You got to stop dipping. You look like Jafar from Aladdin whenever he dresses up as the guy who's trying to get into what's that tunnel? I don't even remember what it's called. Oh, what is that thing called? What's the tunnel in Aladdin with the tiger? What's it called? The Cave of Wonders. There it is. The Cave of Wonders. Yeah. So Dan Campbell's teeth were starting to look like that, guys. Anywho, first quarter, Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide open, 27-yard pass from Goff. But before this was a 6-play, 70-yard drive. Lions go up 7-0. Before this, there was a terrible pass interference called by the DB who was guarding Jamison Williams. So just an absolute debauchery. That would be a theme for the rest of the night. Because in the second quarter, also Goff, there was a lot of fumbles in this game. But in the first quarter, it was 7-0, and it was just that Amon-Ra St. Brown. We had a Goff fumble in the first quarter. We had a Lions missing a 4th and 2 because Goff overthrew Tesla on the side there. Baker in the first quarter, the Bucs had 1 first down and they had 9 yards of offense. That's bad, dude. Second quarter, we get the Jahmyr Gibbs 70-yard touchdown run, and that was electric. If you're the Lions, there's a couple of things with the Lions. Let me go off on a tangent here. A couple of things with the Lions. One, you don't want to play them at home. You don't want to play them in Detroit. So everybody has to do everything in their power to not let the Detroit Lions get the home field advantage. They're trailing Detroit in the NFC North right now. But if you let Jared Goff sit, I was telling my father-in-law this, if you let Jared Goff sit back there and throw the football like that, you're going to be in trouble. The Bucs finally started generating some pressure, and I'm pretty sure we had a record for balls that were hit out of the hand and then thrown forward that looked like fumbles, that were incomplete passes, and some of them were fumbles. Had to be an NFL record of times where Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield got their hands hit and the ball went flying forward. I mean, I don't know what the record is in the NFL for that, but that's a lot. There was like 4 or 5 of them at least. And we had that long Jahmyr Gibbs and this is another thing. Jahmyr Gibbs, I know the Lions want to do the whole we have 2 great backs and we have this and we're tough, but if you're a Lions fan and if anybody's watching the Lions, dude, get Jahmyr Gibbs the ball at all costs. The guy had over 218 yards and 2 touchdowns. The first play for the game, he was running wild. So, the Bucs get a field goal as time expires. It's 14-3, and then 14-3 at the half. Tez Johnson in the second quarter there was running all kinds of wrong routes. He was running into Mike Evans and so on and so forth. And, the 78-yard touchdown run, there was a pass interference on a 3rd down, Jamel Dean on Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then the very next play, that's when Jahmyr Gibbs had that long run. So on 3rd down, the Lions shouldn't have even had that because that was a terrible call. Amon-Ra St. Brown ran right into Jamel Dean. So, and then boom, there goes Gibbs. Then the ensuing drive, I'm pretty sure that's when Mike Evans broke his collarbone, knocked himself out. His leg was straight. He was posturing. I mean, it was scary. He was laying there weird for quite a bit, but he's his 1,000-yard receiving per year or 11 consecutive years probably going to come to an end. And I think this was his last year on a contract. So pretty weird. Nice punt by the dude. Also, speaking of punts, shout out the punter for the Lions because he had a 65-yard bomb, and then that led to a Tampa Bay fumble. So that was the funny Baker fumble, I'm pretty sure, where it like got punched forward. No, that wasn't the Baker fumble. Which one was that? Oh, that was it was a Sterling Shepard fumble. So yeah, Tampa Bay had 36 total yards by the 2-minute warning. So that was pretty bad. In the third quarter, Tez Johnson finally got going. TD pass from Baker, 11 play, 67-yard drive. Now we're at 14-9. Here comes Jahmyr Gibbs after another wait. Oh, that's right. The next, so back and forth a little bit. Then Jahmyr Gibbs gets loose on a little screen pass up the right sideline. Penei Sewell's out in front of him. This is in the third quarter, 5 minutes to go. Penei Sewell's out in front of him, just completely whiffs on it on Winfield and gets tackled. So they do the right thing and give Jahmyr Gibbs the ball. He gets a rushing touchdown. So we're 21-9 at that point. And then fourth quarter, the only thing that was scored was a Jake Bates 58-yard field goal. He missed one, though. He banged one in, too. So, and that was pretty much it. We had some controversy in the fourth quarter because Cade Otton was short on that fourth down conversion where we had to right down the line. But I don't think he got it. I don't think Cade Otton got that first down. So, because he turned the ball sideways and it was like parallel with the first down line. So again, Cade Otton was the leading receiver. Everybody was lauding Baker and giving him credit and all. Yeah, last week when he beat the Niners and he was, throwing deep balls to Tez Johnson, but the Lions made a conscious effort that he was not going to run around. He was not going to sit back there. And the Lions pass rush is way better than the 49ers at this point. Bryce Huff just got hurt, so that's great. But they made it a conscious effort. Like, Baker is not going to run around. Baker is not going to throw the ball deep. And Baker was off because Baker missed a few throws. He missed Tez Johnson on a touchdown throw in the fourth quarter. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. With 6 minutes to go. And that could have brought it at least to, 17. And then the Bucs flamed out. But Baker was just off but the Lions made him uncomfortable. It's not like he was off, but he was, it was what's his face? Aiden Hutchinson was in the backfield all night. I mean, they had Baker bottled up and they made him very uncomfortable. And they weren't letting the long passing plays develop. So, I mean, Cade Otton was the leading receiver because they kept, and Rashad White was useless. The Bucs couldn't run the ball at all. But, anyways, the Baker was off. The Lions pressured him. And the Bucs made Jared Goff uncomfortable too. So let's not forget that. But yeah. So that's pretty much the rundown. Let's take a look at the we're gonna get out of here because it is late and we got the second half of this Seattle. So we may not get to the full breakdown of the Texans. So if you're listening to the podcast, I'm not going to be on here for the entirety of the Seattle Texans game. Just know that CJ Stroud keeps throwing interceptions. Sam Darnold keeps trying to throw interceptions. So what I love to look at is the team stats. We're going to look at team stats, Bucs. And so first down is pretty even between the Bucs, 15 and 17, and the Lions. Both these teams sucked on third downs. The Bucs were 4-16, the Lions were 3-13. Both of them were terrible on fourth downs. Total yards 251 for the Bucs, 379 for the Lions. Average yards per play 3.8 for the Bucs, 5.8 for the Lions. Rushing yards, the Bucs had 41. Oh no, Sam Darnold! Oh no, Sam Darnold! That's a classic Sam Darnold. Classic Sam Darnold. Instead of just taking the safety, he tries to throw the football. He fumbles it. Oh my gosh. That's the Sam Darnold experience. You're going along, wow, we got ourselves a guy. Oh my gosh, what was that? That is a Sam Darnold experience. Rushing yards, Bucs 41, Lions 164. Red zone. Lions are 1 of 2. Like, there was, like, both of these defenses played very, very good football. Like, outside of Jahmyr Gibbs, because Jahmyr Gibbs had how many total yards do they have? 208, 379 total yards for the Lions. Jahmyr Gibbs had the Lions had about 150 yards. Oh, they're going for 2 outside of Jahmyr Gibbs. Hilarious. So, but the Bucs only tried to run it 12 times. Penalties are fairly even. Turnovers, the Bucs lost 1. Baker threw an interception. And same thing for the Lions. Fumbles lost, interceptions thrown. Time possession. I mean, I was saying, like, this game was back and forth. I mean, it felt like the Lions had the momentum pretty much the entire time. It was a big win for the Lions. They needed this win. But they didn't, like, the Bucs defense is they lost somebody on defense too. Was it Hassan Reddick maybe? And then they lost Mike Evans. So this is kind of what honestly is kind of what we expected. At least I did, is the Lions to win this game. Like, the Bucs, as banged up as they are on the road, aggressive Lions defense. A lot of playmakers on Lions offense, different than the 49ers, last week. So the Bucs have been playing close games pretty much all year. So not surprised by the Lions winning. What does this do for that's what I want to look up. For the standings. You know what I mean? Like, what's this mean for the playoffs? Because that's going to shuffle some things up in the NFC. Let's see, playoff. There we go. There we go. Wow. Look at that. The 49ers are the 2 seed. Oh, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. If the playoffs were to start today, the Green Bay Packers would be the 1 seed, the Niners would be the 2, the Eagles would be 3, Bucs would be 4, and the Niners win the tiebreak over Philly and Tampa based on win percentage in conference games, because the Niners are 5-1 in the NFC. How about that? Wow. And the Lions would be the 5 seed. So that's a big win for the 49ers, huh? Shout out Niners. And the Packers should have lost that game. And in the AFC, the Texans are way down. And I love how people are like, the Chiefs are back. They're not even in the playoffs yet. If the playoffs started today, Chiefs wouldn't even be in it. And the Texans are in 10th. And look at the Colts up there. Colts, Patriots, Broncos, Steelers. How about it? All right, let's switch over. So Lions win. Shakes up the NFC playoff picture, but goodness gracious. Sam Darnold. All right, here we go. Right now, so it's 17-12 favor of the Seahawks. CJ Stroud threw a terrible pick. So hold on. But yeah. Charbonnet has a touchdown. Darnold has 1 touchdown. Jackson Smith and Jigba threw for a touchdown. Jackson Smith and Jigba has the touchdown. But no, we don't want that. Get out of here. So yeah, we had the 1-yard touchdown that put it up 7-0. Jackson Smith and Jigba, he's so good, by the way. That dude's legit. They had no problem getting rid of DK Metcalf because they were like watching this guy and they're like, you got to be kidding me with this dude. 14-0. Second quarter, the Texans get a field goal and then they get another field goal because I'm pretty sure there was there a turnover or something where they blocked the kick. That's right. They blocked a field goal to end it, and then they got in position. CJ Stroud made a nice play. And they got it to 14-6. Golly, there's Jackson Smith and Jigba again. That was a dime by Darnold. I'll give him credit for that. Then in the third quarter, Jason Myers drills a 26-yarder. And then we just heard about the touchdown from Will Anderson because Darnold, what a throw. Holy smokes, what a throw. Right in the breadbasket. That's a dime. I got to admit, that's a dime. So, but anyways, this game's still going on. I mean, right now, the tail of the tape. The Seahawks defense, they're young, they're good. Oh my gosh, he almost threw another pick. But both of these defenses right now, the Texans and the Seahawks, these defenses are for real. Neither of these teams are running the ball effectively. Rushing wise, I mean, the Seahawks have 78, so I guess they're running it pretty good. And the Texans have 20. The Texans haven't been able to run the football, and that's why their offense sucks. Because it's CJ Stroud and Nico Collins essentially, and that's it. Their offensive line is terrible. But the Seahawks can be Cooper Kupp threw the interception. That's what happened. So but anyways, so as it stands right now, both of these teams are abysmal on third down. The Texans are 1 of 7 right now through the third quarter. The Seahawks are 1 of 10. The Seahawks have made 2 fourth downs, though. So total yards, 128 Texans, 248 Seahawks. Just not, I mean, it looks like the Seahawks have 2 turnovers. It looks like the Seahawks are going to take control of the game. It's going to be an interesting fourth quarter. So that's about all I'm going to say about this game because I was watching the Mariners game, but it's really a must win for the big stop there on third down for the Texans. Oh, I guess that showed that they kicked a field goal. Well, anyway, so Seahawks are up 20-12 going into the fourth quarter. So, anyways, we'll see how this game turns out. Seahawks probably going to win, and then I'll probably get dunked on. But the Texans at 2-3, they've won 2 in a row, but they beat 2 terrible teams. So this is kind of and I'm pretty sure the Texans play the Niners next. But this is kind of I would say it's a must win for the Texans because they got to keep pace with Kansas City. They got to keep pace with. I mean, Cincinnati's 3-4. You're in 9th? You gotta be kidding me. Cincinnati's right on the doorstep, baby. And then you got the Jags right there and the Chargers. So, I want to. I don't know what happened to the Texans' offense. Like they can't run the football. Their passing game looks disheveled, and it's because one of the first plays of the game, CJ Stroud's running backwards for his life, and he almost takes a safety. So just so weird. They went from being elite, throwing it, airing it out, but their offensive line sucks. So they can't run the football. They can't pass protect. Their defense is ridiculous. So, but Jackson Smith and Jigba having a big game. Anyways, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to go to bed. You know what you can do, though, ladies and gentlemen? Hang on just a second. But anyways, love talking football. Love doing this. We appreciate everybody tuning in. We got over 100 people watching right now. I'm going to tell you what you can do. You can go right here. We're going to be back Wednesday night. We're going to be talking Thursday night football preview. We're going to be going over college football games of the week, college football upset alerts, and then just straight up football. Pretty much, it's incredible. We're in the midst of 49 straight days of football. What I was looking at earlier is that we're not getting a lot of late night games, which kind of sucks. So late on Saturday, I missed the 11 o'clock kicks. Give me Hawaii versus Fresno State. Give it to me. I would love that game. Anyways, go follow us on all the social medias right here. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Anywhere you find your podcast, type in the Millie Goats, and we'll be the ones that are right there because there's nobody else that has our name. Anyways, everybody, have a nice Tuesday, and we'll see how the rest of this game shakes out. But let's say congrats to the Seahawks. Actually, you know what? No, Texans are going to come back and win. Seahawks are going to be 4-3. Their season's over. Season's on the brink because I'm a 49ers fan. All right, everybody have a nice Tuesday.